I was waiting for the ding. Hey, Mashers! Welcome back to the Weekly Mash, your cozy corner for all things bookish, mysterious, and maybe even a little bit dead. Yeah, today we are very much leaning into the afterlife, but making it paranormal, funny, fierce, and full of heart. We are joined by the amazing Amanda Fasciano. Did I say your last name correctly? Awesome.
Yes, you did.
Author of the Life After series, including Waking Up Dead. We have not read it yet, but these are on our TBR. We have paranormal mystery with ghosts, afterlife, a heroine named Cadence who finds herself solving problems after she dies, and we need to know more. So, Amanda, can you introduce yourself a little bit and tell us a little about your books, and then we'll jump into some cool questions here.
Sure. I'm Amanda Fasciano, as you said. Keeper of the Otherworld is kind of what I'm branding myself as, I guess. But it starts with Waking Up Dead as book one. There's an overarching plot for the first 5 books, and this goes into the whole building of the Otherworld. It's an interconnected universe of series. The streams are going to cross. So go away with your questions because I don't want to spoil too much for you.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we'll try. So first things first, we're looking at Waking Up Dead and how Cadence ended up becoming the ghostly investigator we didn't know we needed. How did that happen for you? How did that evolve while you were writing?
Cadence, the idea for Waking Up Dead and Dead Vessel, which are the first 2, came from a what if question and a dream. And I've always been hugely into the paranormal. I grew up in a haunted house. So that has always been a draw for me. Watching when ghost hunters and paranormal state and everything else started taking off decades ago, because yes, I am that old.
Well, you look great, so
thank you.
you're welcome.
They only get like a little bit of shadow, a clip of an EVP, maybe kind of sort of that makes sense with what they're asking. So I was like, well, why? Maybe there's something on the other side that makes it so that they can't give away too much to the living to try to keep it a mystery. And then I had a dream that ended up being the majority of Dead Vessel, which was the second part. And in that dream, I was Cadence and trying to get to my brother.
Interesting.
I mean, paranormal stuff freaks me out, but it intrigues me.
It's an interesting topic.
Yeah. Like, I'm one of those people that when it comes across my TikTok, like the haunted houses and like the paranormal stuff, and I'm sitting here like under the covers doing this, but watching the video.
You're like, I can't look away.
Yeah, I think it's so cool, but I don't want it. My daughter plays this game. What's it called?
Phasmophobia?
Yes, she plays Phasmophobia with her boyfriend. And she's like, look, Mom, and like there's a baby crawling across the floor, and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm going to my room.
When the baby crosses across the ceiling that you have to watch out.
Oh, no. But it's so cool. I think it's so cool. I don't know. Okay, so we heard the Otherworld is like this big interconnected universe, as you said. Can you break down for listeners who are can you break it down for listeners who are just discovering your work? Like, what is each book like, and how do they intertwine together?
Okay. The first 5 books solely take place in the spiritual realm or with the ghost hunters. That was how I chose to open it. And there is an incident that happens in book 5 that then becomes a global problem for all of the supernaturals. So I have 3 books dropping this year, a rapid release, and that's the beginning of the Silent Sentinels series. And that is the the supernaturals in the mortal realm. So you've got immortals, vampires, shifters, fae, gods and goddesses. Yeah. So you've got the gamut of different people who are trying now to work together to solve all of these problems. And there are quite a few now. So we'll have some books that focus on the vampires, some that go with the shifters. Then there's going to be Magpie's Curiosities, which is going to be a through line, which is kind of the MacGuffin cleanup side. So I have a lot planned. Currently, the first draft is resting for book 4 in Sentinels. It's 101,669 words, the chunkiest one I've written so far.
Oh, man,
and I'm about 13,000 into Sentinel's Grief, which is the 5th one. And at 6, there's going to be another world-bending incident that people are going to have to move on and clean up from, and that's going to be written everything a little bit more. So I have an end game in sight. I have a huge Google Doc that is probably embarrassing to have, but where I've made up the weaponry and the medicine, and this is how my shifters work, and this is how my vampires work.
That's cool. Well, I think when you write this many books that are all kind of intertwined, that you have to have some kind of organization.
Yes, yes. Especially, I mean, I'm 50 years old. The memory's going. So it's kind of like, I call it my Amanda can't remember crap area.
That's my whole life.
Yeah.
I'd be one of those authors that literally, like when you go to when you watch like an FBI show and they have like the maps and stuff behind you with all the
strings and the pins.
that'd be me. Yeah, that'd be me. Because
I do actually. Hang on.
Do you?
That's for Sentinel's grief.
Yeah.
That was me just going, okay, I gotta get this down.
That'd be me.
Well, I mean, you have to keep
I'd be so
all
lost.
of it like flowing and consistent, so it makes sense to have to organize it in some manner, definitely.
Mhm. Yeah, I've got it, and I'm really, really anal about organization. So, and because I can't remember crap, it's like I have to get this organized because otherwise I'm not going to remember that this guy had glasses. You know?
I'd be like starting a book. Like, let's say I was writing like a rom-com or something. I'd be like, oh, the love interest's name is this. And halfway through the book, all of a sudden he has a different name.
I did that, and I swear to God, my editor is going to kill me for it because I had in one of the Sentinels, his name was Liam, and I'm writing book 3, and I realized I had a character named Liam in the Dead Show, which is the third book after. Oops, I need to change that. So then I had to find and replace, which of course doesn't catch everything.
Right.
No.
And she's like, I switched all the Liams to Rourke's. I'm like, thank you.
That would so be me. So be me.
I mean, there's more than one person in the world with the same name. It could work in some instances.
Yeah. Liam is like main character, or okay, Rourke is main character. See, I'm still doing it. Liam wasn't main character, but he's secondary character, so important enough through a couple of the books.
Okay.
I should probably change that name.
Yeah. Sounds like something I'd do.
It's all right. If you suddenly found yourself waking up as a ghost, what is the first place that you would haunt? Be honest.
Best friend.
So mine would probably be Miranda.
I would have to haunt my best friend and just start knocking things over on her. You know? No, I'm here. Attention.
That'd be me.
Hilarious.
People that I didn't like. I want to go after the ones who are going to be freaked out.
Yeah,
exactly.
And get a fun reaction out of.
Yeah.
I have like the worst time with this.
Yeah.
That's who I'm going at.
Yeah.
Okay, so without spoiling too much, can you share what kind of treat Cadence faces in life after?
Correct.
And how it sets the stage for your upcoming Silent Sentinels series?
I'm trying to think how I can do this without spoiling too much. Cadence and her partner end up on the bad side of an actual demon.
Ooh.
That demon is trying to track them down through the afterlife using portals. And there is an area that those that were deemed too evil to remain on Earth, whether they were human spirits or non-human spirits, something happens there.
Okay. You know, it must be so hard not to like ruin things. Try to speak in code, but make it so people understand what you're saying at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm still intrigued with it.
Yeah.
Me and Miranda used to watch Supernatural like a lot. And so it's funny because like as you're talking about like the portals and stuff, like I start having like the Supernatural scenes play in my head, like when he got pulled into the portal at the graveyard and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was getting Charmed flashbacks, but I went a little farther back, Ash.
Well, I just rewatched Supernatural not too long ago.
Okay,
So.
that makes sense. Yes. So your books balance humor, heart, and some pretty intense stakes. Was that a conscious choice when you were building Cadence's story and the tone of the Otherworld?
It has been, to try to make it a very serious thing, but then balance it with humor, because I think that's always necessary. I do deal with some very heavy topics, especially right off the bat with grief for the life that you've left behind and watching people grieve you. You know, I need to have some of the wit, some of the jokes, some of the repartee and banter that can go into that and lighten it up a little bit. And it makes it, especially since I made a conscious decision in Life After to make it a little light on the romance because she was dead and, you know, what the heck do I need that for now? And she realizes, yeah, maybe she does. But I will say with Silent Sentinels, the heart is definitely going to come into play a lot more as our other body parts. So, spice. There's spice.
My kind of book.
Yeah, Sentinels and on out, if we're dealing with the mortal realm, is probably going to have a sex scene in there somewhere. Yeah,
I didn't people like scenes were like kind of like until we read Phantasma, and then I was like,
interesting.
I get behind this.
Interesting.
When I started this, my kids were still in high school, and I really didn't want to have to figure out or be asked about the physics of ghost sex. So I was just like, nope.
Not doing that yet.
I don't want to be at the point where people Google mom and go, oh my God.
Yeah. My kids are in high school, and a lot of the high school boys have realized that I, along with my sister, have a bookish podcast, and that we do read kind of like smutty books. Well, smutty being nice. And so like they make jokes about it all the time. And I actually made a TikTok for them, and it was like, when the boys at school find out that my daughter's mom have a bookish podcast and I'm just over here and it's like a girl dancing. And it's like it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm done. Hi, boys.
Somewhere that was, don't Google your mother.
Yeah, probably. No, we were talking about haunting Adeline on one of our podcasts and Miranda's daughter. And it was just like the part where he chops the hand off and like leaves it on her porch. And she's like, I'm never listening to another one of your guys' podcasts ever again. It's like, it wasn't even that.
Comparatively.
Yeah.
Could be way worse.
Could be worse.
Okay, let's play a game of fun, fun, rapid fire-ish.
Okay.
So just the first thing that pops into your head, no thoughts or anything behind it. Your favorite movie ghost.
See the clown.
Okay. Most overused ghost trope.
Jeez. Possession.
Hold on, I lost my question. Oh, there we go. A song you'd want playing as your ghostly theme.
Dead Don't Die by Shinedown.
Oh, that was fast. Good one.
That was a good one.
All right, so that was quick rapid fire questions. When you're building a universe like the Otherworld, how do you keep track of the rules we already talked about? You're planning in the Google Docs and things like that. But do you have anything else besides like the master map that you use, or is that really just where your brain is analytical and where you find the things you need?
I have the master lists and everything in the Google Docs, but I also am absolutely open to those what if questions that pop into your head. If you see something and you're like, well, I could twist that into this, that, and the other. I am absolutely open to those inspirations because sometimes they are amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just need to let things flow.
Yes.
And if you need to change your planning, then it's an easy fix. That's always my theory.
Outliner at all. The whole plotter versus pantser thing. I'm a plantser. I'm in the middle.
Plantser. You may have to add that for future ones, Miranda.
I know. And that's funny because when we were talking to Jordana Blake, she said she was a sweat pantser. So she's like in the middle, but she likes to be comfortable. And we've heard so many different like versions of that. It's just cool thinking about how everybody kind of defines their own way through it. I love it.
A lot of times I'll like do bullet point outlines, just the important, I want to hit this, this, and this. And then like Sentinels Roar, which was the 4th book in the series for Sentinels, that's the chunky one. That sucker, I woke up with that one in my head, front to back, beginning to end. I knew where it was going. I knew the whole thing. The only thing I had to puzzle out was writing myself into a corner as far as Triss's powers. So
I'd be like a pantser, but I have to have Miranda in my ear to like remind me all the things that I wanted to put down.
You forgot this, and this goes there.
This chapter doesn't make sense.
I
Ashley.
love
You
my
gotta relive
friends.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 friends that I'm on with usually most nights on Discord, and we all live in different places, but we're all real close, and we are each other's accountability partners as far as word count, but we also will spitball things and be like, how does this sound? Do you think this would work? Hey, I want to read this scene to you. Does the joke in it work? That kind of thing.
Yeah. I love that authors are starting to like bounce off each other more.
It's
We've
really
been hearing that a lot.
It is really helpful to have that tribe, that community.
I love it. Okay, so you mentioned that the Silent Sentinels series will bring vampires and shifters, gods. We are totally in for it. We're excited about it. What can readers expect from that new series, and how does it expand the universe you already created?
The universe I created has simply for these 5 books just been limited to the ghosts and the ghost hunters. And Sentinels does bring in everything else. Like, I'm throwing it all at the wall. But my vampires are probably a little different than what you've seen because I wanted to put my own spin on it. You know, the Sentinel of Blood, which is the second book in the series, focuses on Kyra, who she's a little special. I've had that character living rent-free in my head for about 35 years, and she is insane. She is a certifiably insane vampire because she hates chairs, bar stools, doorknobs, and solid-colored billiard balls because they all work for the hamster that lives in the basement of the Pentagon that wears combat boots and smokes Cuban cigars.
Love it.
And she has 0 filter. She does not care that there are people in this hierarchy above her. They can go screw themselves as far as she's concerned. 0 filter. And I love her to pieces. And, you know, just as far as intimacy with vampires is concerned, that's a little different than just boinking, you know? So I try to put my own spin on it, and they're going to meet the muses, and they're going to meet the Sentinels are immortals without the Highlander flashiness of the sword fights. The Sentinels are there to guard the mortals' free will from supernatural influence. And you find out in book 2, and this really isn't a spoiler. I think it's just a good joke that I did. The Sentinels were basically originally made to cockblock Zeus, which is going to turn around and bite them in the butt at book 6.
Yes, I'm so excited. I want to read them all.
That's hilarious.
That kind of series, I'm telling you.
It's a fun playground to be in.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a fun playground to design yourself, I bet, too.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I bet. So you're mentioning all these different entities that you're bringing into your world. If you could have one paranormal roommate, whether it's ghost, vampire, shifter, who are you picking and why?
I think I would, and I'm probably blushing. If he was single and hadn't met Madeline, probably Lucas Archer. He is a sentinel, and to quote Madeline, his voice sounds like the best sex she'd never had. And his voice would slide down her spine like velvet covered lightning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I need me one of these guys in my life. Brian, I have a new boyfriend.
Boyfriend every book.
That's great.
That's gonna make a great clip.
It's funny because my husband might even actually. So my husband's like super sci-fi, a dystopian world, you know, and like I got him on like Fourth Wing, and Miranda got him on Zodiac Academy. And I'm like, you might like these books, you might like these books. And he's like, yeah. But like he'd totally dig these too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was gonna say
My ex never read them. That's a high compliment.
I got in the car yesterday and he had one of the Zodiac Academies on, and I was complaining the other day that I don't have any Audible credits because my thing hasn't rolled over yet. And he's like, well, I've got 5. Do you want to borrow some? And I'm like, how do you have 5 right now? And he goes, well, this Zodiac Academy book's really slow. And I'm like, oh, can I borrow some credits?
That's awesome.
I know we're terrible.
That's funny.
For new readers who love found family, sass, and supernatural mysteries, what makes Cadence's story stand out?
Well, especially if you love found family, because for her dad died in war. Her mother suffered a stroke. Her brother was killed in a massacre in college. So she had no family for a long time. And then she gets her brother back. And then she, her new partner is kind of cool to hang out with. She gets a boyfriend. She gets a lot of people that she enjoys having around her. And I think that's a theme that goes through most of my books, because it's kind of the same thing in Sentinels, where it's a found family. It's the family you choose to have with you that understand you when the blood relatives maybe don't. So
Yep.
that is
It's funny because we never understood growing up. Like, we had a lot of found family members, and we didn't understand growing up when people would say, like, oh, that's your uncle? Like, how are you related? And we're like, oh, he's like our dad's best friend.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that doesn't make him your uncle. And we're like, well, what do you mean? That's our uncle. So we've like experienced a lot of the found family stuff. Just like my children's godmother was my husband and I's best friend, like that kind of stuff. And they called her auntie. And
Yeah.
even though they have Miranda, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to put my crazies on Miranda if something happened to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, she'd probably get them anyway,
Right?
but at least one of them.
What's one thing you wish more readers asked about the Otherworld? Something that you're dying to talk about but don't get too often.
There is and honestly with this, it's in Sentinels, so people haven't had the chance to ask me much of that one yet. But I loved, there's a movie called Xanadu. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's Olivia Newton-John, Michael Beck, Gene Kelly. She's a muse. I don't name check it, but I do drop a hint that Calliope, who is the youngest of the muses, who makes an appearance in number 3, that she had a affair with a painter in California, and he died recently.
Like that.
So it's just, there are little pop
I'm like,
culture
hey.
nuggets that are hidden among all of it, and I love it when people are like, "Did you mean this?" And I'm like, "Yes,
That's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so funny. Well, Amanda, we're like completely obsessed. We're so excited and very intrigued by what's coming in the Otherworld. Where can I listen? Oh my gosh, this is going to be a long day. Where can listeners find you online and to keep up with your new releases?
So AmandaFasciano.com is my website. I've got my calendar of appearances up there. I have one coming up in less than 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be Alabama. It should be a fun one. My books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and my publisher, Four Horsemen Publications. They have a website,
awesome.
and they're always running sales.
Very cool.
We'll link everything down below, you guys. We'll tag all of our socials. Yeah, we're so excited. So excited.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
We're super glad that you were on here. Don't forget, you guys, you can always come talk to us about books in our Discord. We're slowly getting that up and running. Our monthly pick that we picked didn't turn out so well, but let's see what else we could talk about in there. You can also share your dream paranormal roommate, because you guys heard Amanda's a couple minutes ago. In our Discord. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you're watching the video on YouTube, let us know who you'd love to have as a roommate. Amanda, thank you again so much for joining the Weekly Mash. We'll be back next week with some more amazing bookish chaos. Until then, you guys, stay spooky, stay bookish, and don't wake up dead. Bye, guys.